my previous video, I shared 5 rhythms you can use in any 3/4 songs. These rhythms can be found in the description box below. I also shared about a musical concept known as dynamics. Briefly, dynamics is the variation of loudness or softness, so as to bring out certain emotions and to reduce musical monotony. If you would like a clearer example, click here to watch my previous video. In this video, I want to share with you how to use the examples in my rhythm sheet to fit into the song in a way that dynamically brings out the music. We will be using Be Thou My Vision as an example. A big thanks to my wife for recording the cover of this song. If you haven't watched it, click here. I'll first play the example, after which I'll share with you how I decide which rhythm to play for which musical segment. Let's go. So let me share with you my thought process on which rhythm to use for the musical segments. So step 1. Identify the most intense and least intense sections of a song. Typically, intensity can be sensed in 3 ways. The first way is to ask ourselves, is this musical section busy or spacey? Let's hear these 2 sound bites. Make a guess which of these clips sound more intense. If you choose A, you're right. This is because A has more notes played than B. Typically, the more notes a section has, the more intense it is perceived to be. The next way is to find out whether the musician played the segment in a very heavy manner or a light manner. Let's hear these two sound bites again. If you choose A, you're right. This is because the strength used by the musician to play these notes is heavier than the other clip. Typically, when more strength is used to play a sound clip, the more intense it is perceived to be. The third way is to listen out whether it's the musical section played on a higher range of notes or a lower range of notes. Let's again hear these two sound bites. If you choose A, you're right. This is because A is played on a lower range of notes than B. Typically, lower notes are perceived to be of a higher intensity than higher notes. From the recording, it seems that verse 1 has the lowest intensity while verse 3 has the highest intensity. So the next step I did was then to decide the intensity for the rest of the song sections. Listen out to the busyness, the range of notes played, and the strength used by the musician to determine the intensity level accordingly. This is my interpretation or dynamics level throughout the song. I'll explain my rationale together with the next step. So the last step is then to fit the rhythms accordingly to its dynamic level. We saw earlier that verse 1 has the lowest intensity. So let's assign the level 1 rhythm to it. Verse 3 has the highest intensity, so let's assign a level 5 rhythm to it. How you get from level 1 to level 5 is entirely up to you. If you feel that the current music section has a higher intensity than the previous section, then you should play a rhythm of a higher level. Here's how I assign it. For verse 2, the music was played at a lower register. To match the intensity of this section, I increased the rhythm to a level 3. Interestingly, verse 2 ends off with something gentler. As such, I matched the intensity by playing a level 2 rhythm in that segment. This happens similarly to verse 3. It started out with a level 5 rhythm, but at the tail end of the verse, the music was gentler, and as such, I brought the rhythm down again to level 3. Finally, there was a repeat in the second half of verse 3. The music is now played at a higher register with a gentler touch, and as such, I brought the rhythm down to a level 1. The first pro tip is to smoothen transitions between musical sections of different intensity. We want the listeners to enjoy the music and not be surprised. To smoothen the transitions between verse 1 and verse 2, I decided to play a level 2 rhythm during the interlude. Similarly, between verse 2 and 3, I decided to play a level 4 rhythm to smoothen the transition. Another pro tip, if you want to increase the intensity of the rhythm slightly, you could consider playing a right cymbal instead of changing to a different level of rhythm. The right cymbal is usually the largest right cymbal. Here are the sections I played at right cymbals instead. And we're done. Thank you for staying through this video. Please subscribe here and let me know what you want to see.